All right, it's May 6th, 2021. I'm going to put on tape my last experiment I probably will ever do in my lab. This is the experiment I built, and right now it's not charged, it's not dangerous. But if I lit this, there is no control mechanism. This is the core of a machine. And I can't light it because something intense could happen. This could build a lot of energy. I might only, when I did it first, I put 750,000 volts through this. I had a Van de Graaff on each side, and they arced energy through this. This is two salad bowls around this. This is what's inside of this. This is glued to this plexiglass. So one hemisphere is on one side and one hemisphere is in the other side. And it was vacuumed down to, I believe, 99.9% empty. And I left inert gases only in there, like neon and helium. Okay, so this is in there, deep vacuumed with inert gases, conductive gases like neon. And I put the generators on each side, and I thought they wouldn't spark because I had them far enough apart. They never arced that far before. I had them way over there, this far apart, and I thought, that ain't going to arc. And I hit the on switch, and immediately they hit it hard, so I shut it off. I left it arcing into this for one full second, okay? And I shut off the Van de Graaffs and turned them off and actually discharged any energy in them and put them away. And this was hanging in my lab after it got 1 second of charge. I went in there with a fluorescent light bulb, and I touched one side and it flashed, pow. And I'm going, okay, there's energy in it. How much is? How long can it stay in there? Will it, like the proton, renew itself and maintain? I didn't know. I didn't want to believe that this was the ultimate thing. Maya, no. It's okay. All right. I didn't want to believe that I had built the final thing. I wanted it to prove to me that it had something more going on than just what I put in there. So I was going to force it to do a rebuild. I started touching it, and I pow, and it hit. And I hit the other side, pow. And if I hit this twice, the second time there was no bang. I would be the same voltage. But then if I hit this one, pow, it would zap me. And now I could hit this one and it would zap me, and I could hit that one and it would zap me. And it did this for hours, and finally I touched both sides of this exact unit with power in it. And when I did the touching, I could feel the electricity coming up my arms. I had a whoa, 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 whoa feel to it. And it was slowing down as I'm touching it. I could feel it, whoa, 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 whoa. And it stopped, and I was still holding it. And I said, it's dead. I'm going to bed, Ted. And I remember it because it rhymed, okay? And I remember that. Oh, yeah, it's dead. I'm going to bed, Ted. Never said that before, and I said that then, and it was like I remembered it. Next day I got up, I went to work, worked the whole day, come home, Said, oh yeah, what's going on in the lab? Let's see if that thing's got any energy left. Because I had done things that had sparks that lasted for hours and stuff. But 24 hours was a hard nut to crack. Everything I built seemed to die at 20 or 22 hours. It wouldn't last any longer. It's because I was over-zapping it. I was drilling a hole right through the glass. If you hit it hard, when there's a deep vacuum, it becomes very attractive to electricity. If this had a deep vacuum in it, and I had a grounded wire in this hand, and I walked up to a Van de Graaff, and I said, which one do you want to zap? It would zap the glass with the vacuum before it would go for the ground. I guarantee you, I could show you. Try it, believe me. So anyhow, it was zapping me for days, okay? Every night I would come off work and I would touch it and it would zap me, and I would touch it and it would zap again. And I would finally touch both sides and it was zoom, zoom. And I would, for 3 weeks, this fucking was going on. I had one friend stopped over, and it was during a miserable winter I was doing this. It was cold and snowy, and one guy stopped over. I said, Johnny, come here, look at it. It's been running for 3 weeks. No, I think it was 7 days when he came over. It's been running for 7 days. I showed him pow, and I kept it running for many more days. And then I took it apart. I pried off one of these here to stop what was happening inside, because at the time, it was like hearing voices. Take it apart now. Why would I take it apart? It's freaking running. And the voice, take it apart. You can make it more powerful. Take it apart. You can make it more powerful. You can make it perfect. You need a thicker plastic. You need to take the center out and put it in a thicker plastic. I kept hearing these words, these ideas. And I said, Okay, all right, I'll take it apart. I'll rebuild it. I'll have it done in 2 days. So I got a butcher knife, and I went to stab it right here, right on the edge where the two meet. I was going to come in with a butcher knife, stick it in, this is just silicone, and I was going to pry off one bowl to stop it. Now, it's been 3 weeks since I zapped that with 1 second of power. And I had played with it for 3 weeks when I took it apart. And I thought, no problem, take it apart, make it perfect. Let's go. Get a damn butcher knife, stick it right there. So I did. Got me a nice butcher knife. And I went, ah! And when I hit it, it won. I lost. There was a pow of electricity. I got zapped really bad, and I got thrown backwards, and I landed on my butt. And it pissed me off. I'm going, that can't stop me. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to take it apart. Now, that's unbelievable that it threw me, literally pushed me through the air. I tried it again. This time I was a little more pissed off, but I was going to get it. So I went at it. I said, ah! It won again. It fucking won. It threw me again. I landed on my butt the second time, and I said, this ain't right. This ain't right. I got to do this. And then I realized, no, you got to fly like a ninja. It can't stop you if you are in the air. So I got back, and I literally flew through the air and stabbed that thing, and the bowl flew off. And I was no longer in danger. I had time to think about what I had going on there. I had time to really analyze how much. I realized that this force that I'm trying to harness doesn't partially fill a proton. There aren't protons half empty. It fills that ball with energy. It keeps it full. And I tell you this, if I hadn't taken it apart, there'd have been 50-foot bolts of lightning coming out of my house. My neighbors might have been killed by surges in the grid. Goddamn thing, good I took it apart. If I hadn't taken it apart, there was no containment vessel. There was no control mechanism. This thing was going to go up to full power, what I call critical mass. Every day I was discharging it, it got more powerful. It got more powerful. I wasn't realizing because every day it was just a little bit more in there to play with. When I took it apart, it was probably 10 times the amount of force in there that was now in there. And so when I took it apart, it was coming up to a threshold where critical mass. Now, what is critical mass? Now, to me, what was going to happen was it was going to go up to light speed. It was going to become a ball of energy with the speed of light at its orbit. And it would produce a lot of energy at that level. And it would have arced 20, 25 feet easy. No way would I have been able to contain it. So I took it apart, and I won't fire this up again until I have it properly engineered, containment vessel, and control mechanism. So that's it. That's it. That's all we got here. You know, if this ain't enough, if this ball of glass doesn't tell you what I'm doing, and this doesn't show you what I'm doing, you can't hear my words, and maybe we don't deserve what I know. I'm thinking the human race needs this. If we deserve it, I will be heard. It's a fact. I'm sorry, but I can only do this much. I'm 72. You ain't got long. So hear me, world. Hear me now. This could change everything. This will change everything. This is your only answer to global warming. So hear me now. Help me get the budget to do this.